Other news, we're following the deadly earthquake in Nepal tonight. The situation is becoming more desperate by the hour.
At least 4,000 people are now believed dead, and that number is expected to climb. 4 Americans have believed to have been killed. They were all, that is, at the Mount Everest base camp when they were killed, some of the dead being mass cremated in huge fires. The survivors need food, shelter, and medicine. It's hard for rescuers and aid workers to get around because many roads are blocked with landslides and downed power lines.
The world is responding to the tragedy in Nepal on social media. 3,000 posts per minute today. On our tag board, we have just a small sample for you. From Australia, one of the awful things is feeling completely unable to help in any way, someone writes. Then there are the pictures, irreplaceable, tragic, and heartbreaking, as you can see. And the photos of people still missing, like this man. And some that give us an idea of the magnitude of the rescue effort. Helicopters in the fog around Mount Everest. There are thousands of posts asking for prayers and donations, and this one from a mom whose children broke their piggy banks to do everything they could to help.
And Dawn, tonight we are hearing directly from surgeons in Nepal. They describe an onslaught of patients with crushing injuries. Here is how they are managing treatment without electricity, with very little sleep, and during countless aftershocks.
The earthquake struck at 11:58 on Saturday, April 25th. The violent shaking lasted like never before.
Chicago rehabilitation specialist Dr. Victoria Brander reads the first email she received after the earthquake from a colleague at Nepal Orthopedic Hospital in Kathmandu. And then there are the pictures that accompany that email. 500 patients flocking to the hospital with just over 100 beds and 3 surgeons. Aftershocks forcing treatment into the streets and outside the hospital walls. A line of patients receiving casts because limbs have been crushed.
Since that earthquake, then, people have started to make their way to get care. First, they're just digging people out of the rubble. Nepal's government has been closed since the earthquake, so everyone is fending for themselves.
Dr. Brander last visited the hospital in 2012. This video was created by her team. She is the director of Operation Walk Chicago, a nonprofit providing free orthopedic surgery to underdeveloped countries.
With earthquakes, you see a lot of orthopedic injuries. So what you see are broken bones, buildings falling on top of people, so crushed arms, crushed legs, hip fractures, open wounds, head injuries, spinal cord injuries.
Dr. Brander trained many of the physicians working in Nepal at this hour to save earthquake survivors.
I can tell you that my colleagues are simultaneously frightened, like all of us would be, and yet dedicated to doing the medical care that they know is needed. These doctors we work with are very talented. They could leave Nepal and go anywhere, but they chose to stay. And they chose to stay because they love their country and they love their people. And now, thank heavens.
Dr. Brander tells us the Nepal Orthopedic Hospital is in desperate need of financial support for supplies. They are struggling just to feed the staff. We've provided a link to the organization on our website, myfoxchicago.com, if you'd like to donate. And the Nepal Orthopedic Hospital, one of many places in need of your help.
And if you want to lend a hand, cash donations are the best way, we're told. The Nepali American Center here in Chicago is taking those donations. You can also donate medicine, canned foods, tents, and water filters at several Nepalese and Indian restaurants. Mount Everest Restaurant, for example, in Evanston, and Curry Hut in Highwood are just 2 of the locations accepting donations. For more details on how you can help and for links to charities accepting donations on behalf of the quake victims, go to our website, myfoxchicago.com.